Good morning, good morning. You know it's Saturday morning. Another beautiful day at Don Boy 718. Just wanted to get you guys all up and let you know if you ain't already had your breakfast, man, you might want to pause and wait a minute because I got some news for you. And then, break up the weed, get ready to smoke, do something real fresh and right. Whatever makes you good. If you just finished making morning love, then hey, that's all the better. You know what I'm saying? Start your weekend off real beautiful and real smooth. Now, this weekend is a lot happening. You have all these trades and changes in the NFL. Plus, this is selection weekend for the men and women tournaments in the NCAA. March Madness is beginning, y'all. It's that time of the year. Beautiful weekend. We're going to start off with the NFL right now. Uh, just want to talk to you guys about a couple of things that changed. Y'all know about the big news of Saquon Barkley leaving the New York Giants, and he's a part of the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay, he went to the enemy, but Saquon, he was loyal during his time here in New York, and we thank him for that. Even though some people went a little harsh with it, such as Tiki Barber, and said Saquon is dead to us. And that's a pretty harsh comment right there. That's pretty direct because Tiki, when he left the New York Giants, it wasn't as if, we praised him as the best. We just brought in two other guys like Brandon Jacobs and Bradshaw and went on and won us a Super Bowl. So, nobody said he was dead to us when Giants cut him. So he need to think twice about the words that he say. Getting back to this week, Russell Wilson no longer with the Denver Broncos. He is now a part of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Mike Tomlin's organization. Okay, few things have happened. The Lions, they did a smart move. They extended the contract of Coach Dan Campbell, which is very necessary, and we know this. The Giants also picked up Burns from the Carolina Panthers and brought him to a way better position where his strengths and powers can be useful on our defensive squad, along with Thibodeau and Dexter Lawrence. So get ready for that, man. I know y'all want to see the New York Giants do some things. Excitement in the league is always a big plus for us all. Nobody wants to watch a boring game or just see our teams just lose and lose every year. It makes no sense. It makes you think what the organizations are doing with all that money, right? Okay, now, Aaron Donald has had a stellar career. This man has announced his retirement a couple days ago, and this week it was a surprise. He went out after his 10 years, just like who else did 10 years and left? Barry Sanders. There are some people that have went into the league, handled their business, and then they left after contributing and making their way. But Aaron Donald has had a stellar career for 10 years. The dude, as you know, upon retirement, he's in good health. And he still has his dignity at that and common sense, which you don't want to leave because some players, they leave their dignity and their health out on the field and they leave the organizations and leave the league with all types of problems and hindrances. But this young man here, I think this is a smart move for him, especially if this is what he wants to do, him and his family. He had 543 tackles in his career in the NFL with 111 sacks. 2014, D. Roy, defensive Russian, 3 times defensive player of the year, 8 times first team All-Pro, 10-time Pro Bowler. That means he was a 10-time Pro Bowl selection. All his life, he was a Pro Bowl selection the whole time in the NFL, every year since his rookie year. And he's a Super Bowl champion on top of that. Come on, he's definitely a Hall of Famer now. Shout out to Aaron Donald. This is big news. A lot of teams could have loved to use him right now, and I'm pretty sure if he would have stayed committed to those Los Angeles Rams where he was at, because that organization, they stayed true to him and kept him there. They brought him a chip. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. He will be missed. But in other NFL news, Jimmy Garoppolo was released by the Las Vegas Raiders, and this week, and he just signed with the Los Angeles Rams. So that's a pickup. They lost a Hall of Famer on defense, and they picked up somebody pretty good on the offense. We're gonna see how that plays out. Him and Matthew Stafford. But the Las Vegas Raiders this week, they just made some moves, by signing Garoppolo, and he will join someone else that they picked up this week also recently, the newly signed 6-year player in Gardner Minshew, who was also signed by the Raiders this week. And it should be interesting as they battle for the starting quarterback position, because these two are going to throw it out. Even though I think that Jimmy G, if he proves to be himself and what they're expecting to see right now, then he will have that starting quarterback position. Jimmy G is a little bit more athletic, and he can do some things in that pocket there that I'm thinking Gardner Minshew is just trying to do and get to right now in his 6th year. Another quarterback making news and making moves is Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett, after he demanded a trade when Russell Wilson was signed recently, Kenny Pickett moves on to the Philadelphia Eagles. And on the Eagles, you already know he will place himself on the bench as a sub behind Jalen Hurts, because Jalen Hurts is really great at what he does. And this guy, I don't see him backing down and letting Kenny Pickett take his spot. Now, it's cool to have someone nice to back you up that the people know. So Kenny Pickett stays in the state of Pennsylvania. He just leaves Pittsburgh and goes to Philadelphia. Philly Phil. That's what it is. Now, running backs have been making news, since the beginning of the trade deadlines and the free agency markets. It's just been a lot. Like I just told you about Saquon making moves. You have other dudes like Josh Jacobs making moves. And then now, in the offseason, another big name has made a move. And that big name is 30-year-old Derrick Henry. And he's parted ways with the Tennessee Titans and signed with the Baltimore Ravens. Now the Baltimore Ravens have 2 former Heisman Trophy winners. That's right. Derrick Henry, when he was in school, he won it with Alabama, and also Lamar Jackson. So the 2 of them teaming up, this should be real special. We have a lot to see, and there are a lot of hopes. This move makes them more of a threat in the AFC, and it gives John Harbaugh a great team, better than last year. I think this is an upgrade, and this is going to help them, fight a little harder and have some weapons that they didn't have. Lamar Jackson, he'll still scramble, I'm sure, but Derrick Henry, he can get those yards, those extra 2 or 3 yards for those first downs. He can get them breakaway rushes. He can get them touchdowns. He can do a lot. This is going to be interesting. It gives him a better shot at the Super Bowl, and we just can't wait to see them out in the field and what it does. Keenan Allen, another pretty good wide receiver and also well-known. He was traded from Los Angeles to the Chicago Bears. And I think the Chicago Bears right now, they waited a little bit late for this kind of move here, even though we know that they should have made this move when Justin Fields was there. Justin Fields, pretty good quarterback. He's only going to get better. He's young. Shout out to him. I'm hoping that the rest of his career, he shines and get better. He's far from Zach Wilson. The Jets would have had Justin Fields if they did not select Zach Wilson. But it was their choice to go with him. And now Justin Fields is on to another team as he parted ways with the Chicago Bears. We're going to bring you more sports news a little later. We're going to have the NCAA tournament talk, and we're going to get a little bit deeper in there. But before I do leave you, I just want to say that with 68 teams spread across 14 sites over the next 3 weeks. March Madness 2024.